Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous lecture, we had covered string objects, string pool, and intern method in detail. Before I cover garbage collection of string objects, let me ask you a question. I have written this simple program. Let me execute it. And I get Java and false in the output. S1 double equals S2 returns false. Let me move this system.out.println statement. After these two statements, save the file. What do you think? What will be the output in this case? Just moving system.out.println statement should not change the output, right? We should get Java and false in the output. Let's try, run the program. But we got Java and true in the output. How come by moving system.out.println statement, S1 double equals S2 returns true? Earlier it returned false. Can you find out the reason? If you don't need any hint, then pause over here and resume once you are ready with your answer. Hint is this statement creates a non-pool string object. Now pause over here and resume once you are ready with your answer. Hope you were able to find out the reason behind the strange output. Let me explain. First, the example in which system.out.println statement is at the top. On execution, main method goes on to the top of the stack. System.out.println statement is executed. This statement has a string literal Java within double quotes. So string object Java is created in the heap space. String literals are always referred by string pool table. So string pool table refers to this string object. After creating the string object Java, this statement prints Java onto the console. Now the next statement is executed. A char array object is created first. Using the contents of char array object, a new string object is created. So another string object Java is created. Variable S1 is created in the stack memory. And S1 refers to this string object. Intern method is invoked on S1 reference variable. This call to intern method checks if equivalent string object Java is referred by string pool or not. In this case, Java is referred by string pool table. So call to s1.intern returns the address of this string object. And this address is assigned to another reference variable s2. As a result, s2 starts referring to this string object. S1 double equals S2 returns false as both are referring to different string objects. So this statement prints false. I will get back to this slide later. Let us now check what happens when system.out.println statement is moved after these two statements. On execution, main method goes on to the top of the stack. This statement is executed next. This creates a char array object in heap memory. And using the contents of char array, this parameterized constructor of string class creates a string object. So a new string object Java is created. Now as this object was not created either using a string literal or constant expression of a string type, so a string pool table does not refer to it. Variable S1 is created in the stack memory and it refers to this string object. Call to s1.intern method checks if a string pool table refers to equivalent string object or not. In this case, as a string pool table does not refer to equivalent string object Java, hence Java runtime makes string pool refer to this object. and s1.intern call returns the address of this object, which is then assigned to another reference variable s2. Variable s2 refers to this string object. This statement is executed next. As string literal Java is already referred by string pool, hence no new string objects are created. This statement prints Java onto the console. S1 double equals S2 returns true as both are referring to the same string object. So this statement prints true onto the console. In these examples, we are working with string object Java, and in system.out.println statement, string literal Java is used. That is why changing the position of system.out.println statement changed the output. So this is the reason behind the strange output. Let's go back to previous slide. So how many string objects do we have at this line? Answer is 2, because this is char array object. So total 3 objects in the heap memory, 2 string objects and 1 char array object. Suppose if I write this statement, s1 equals s2 equals null, then how many objects will be eligible for garbage collection after the execution of this statement? S1 equals S2 equals to null means these two links are gone. After this statement, this string object and this char array object are not being referred. So these two objects are eligible for garbage collection, and this will not be eligible as it is still referred by string pool table. What happens if main method ends? Well, in this case, as we don't have any threads, so when main method ends, program terminates. And after program termination, this whole memory is reclaimed. But if there is even one non-daemon thread running, then this object will not be eligible for garbage collection. There are lots of sites or blogs which discuss about garbage collection of string objects referred by string pool. Google to find out more. But in your initial days as a Java developer, this much knowledge is sufficient. Let's check another slide. So how many string objects do we have at this line? Answer is 1, because this is char array object. If I write similar statement here, s1 equals s2 equals null, then how many objects will be eligible for garbage collection after the execution of this statement? S1 equals S2 equals null means these two links are gone. So after this statement, only this char array object is not reachable. So it is eligible for garbage collection. But this string object is still referred by string pool. I am stopping this lecture here, and in next lecture I will cover some important methods of string class. See you there.